I found something weird on a true crime forum. Figured this was up your guys' alley. Post 1, September 2nd, 2020. I have to be quick since she finally left her computer open. Hey, my name is Amber. I'm 16 years old and I'm dead. That's all I know. I've been here for a while, but I can't really say how long. The when is hard when you're dead. I guess I lived here, because there's a girl's bedroom that's probably mine. No one's lived here with me. I guess everyone left when I died. But I would too. It's been mostly empty and dusty, but all of the sudden, a moving truck pulled up. I can't talk with the girl that moved in. Her name's Morgan. But I'm fine just watching her. No, that's not weird. It took me like an embarrassingly long amount of time to figure out this is a computer. It's so quiet, so she's on here a lot. And I think this looks like a forum. So this is my best way of getting to talk with someone again. Sorry I'm lonely. LOL. I thought my cat Jonesy might show up, but he hasn't. So about me. I remember a bunch of movies and a bunch of tapes got left here, but I couldn't watch them because there was no power before Morgan showed up. Everything else was mostly cleared out, but the girls' room still had an old pink desk, an NSYNC poster, and a mirror Morgan moved to her room. Rude. There were a few swimming trophies too, so I guess I was a swimmer. Morgan's cool. She does a lot on here. She talks with people through the screen like some Back to the Future stuff, which totally bugs me out. She got a weird phone, but she seems pretty cool. I think she's in college. She has people over sometimes and they can't see me either. Everyone wears doctor's masks. Did global warming happen or something? I've been trying to make myself write on the mirror, or something, but it's hard. I don't want her to freak out and leave. Like I'm fine just hanging out with Morgan, even if it's awkward that she can't see me. It's cool that Morgan moved in, and she's making the house nice. It's like she's taking care of me. It takes a lot of energy to type. I'll be back the next time I can get to Morgan's computer. Post 2, September 8th, 2020. Hi, Amber again. I don't have much to update, because I still haven't tried to talk to Morgan. Sorry. Yes, Deputy Truthful, Jonesy is orange. I thought it was funny you asked about him when everyone else was into the ghost stuff. LOL. I guess I can answer some questions about the afterlife. It's pretty lame. I can't leave the house. I learned that the hard way. I can move things around a bit, but no one can see me. And I can't do much, so it's not really a haunting. I can go through walls, but it's creepy. So I just go through doorways. There's no other ghost here, and I don't wear chains or whatever. I've actually been in the same jeans and shirt this whole time. I don't remember much of my life, and I don't remember how I died. And I really don't want to. I heard in a movie once that you only become a ghost if you die really bad. I just remember walking to this house one time. I can't remember where I live, or what my last name was, to anyone who wanted to look into it. Morgan would know the town, but I said I'm shy. She moved in fully now and she has a banner for the Bulldogs. If that narrows it down. I still think she's cool and she has some good style. Anyways, I'll think about trying to talk to her again. Comment from Brown Bread 2002. What do you mean by the hard way? Comment from Original Poster. There's like a physical barrier. and it hurts a lot to push through. Comment from Stardust the Avenger. What year is it? Comment from Original Poster. 1999. Aw man, did I miss Y2K? Post 3. September 9th, 2020. I never posted this, I was hacked. Post 4. September 22nd, 2020. Sorry for the wait. I thought about a comment I got, and then figured out how to use Google, and found out I missed 20 years. So when I died, I was in this kind of nothing. There wasn't any light, but there wasn't any dark either. I eventually started putting together some thoughts again, and eventually I got strong enough to come out here. I guess I spent longer in there than I thought. It made me think a lot, because that sucks. I already had no idea where my family was, and now they could all be super far off or dead, or had another daughter. So just thinking about being dead sucks. So I tried to remember my life. There wasn't much, but I worked backwards from the memory I had of walking to this house, and I realized I was running. I made it up the steps, and then there was this burning sensation in my back, and felt warm running down my ribs, but felt cold everywhere else. That sucked. Moving on. Anyways, sorry Morgan. She changed her password, but that wasn't a problem. LOL. She didn't even read back the messages. She just saw the new activity on her account. I saw the comments though. Maybe you guys can convince her to read these posts. Anyways, I tried talking to Morgan. I wrote hi on her mirror when she was taking a shower. The curtain was closed and I never looked, but she thought it was the girl she had over. As if. So Morgan, if you ever get around to reading these, I'm not a hacker or whatever. I'll knock over that big lamp next to your desk when you get to this part, because you know a draft can't knock that over. Also, I promise I never creeped on you, and please don't freak out. You're really cool, and my only friend, okay? Alright guys, wish me luck. Post 5, September 25th, 2020. This is Morgan. I've read everything. I thought this was a very creative and bored hacker at first, and then I thought I might have a stalker. But stuff happened that I couldn't explain, and Amber and I ended up having a good talk. Amber here, she brought out a Ouija board, but I told her I could just type LOL. So consider me a new believer in ghosts. Amber finding out she was murdered set me on edge, even if it was a long time ago. Just being in this house, knowing someone was killed here, makes me jittery. Since I'm involved in this now, here's something about me. I'm a 22-year-old criminal justice major, going into law. We're in a little college town, but I'm not giving any more information than that. I believe a lot of you guys are interested in helping Amber, but this entire situation has me paranoid. I've already looked up everything I can about an Amber in the last 30 years in this town. We have a local paper, but it's never gone online, so I can't search the articles. I don't know if they keep every edition of the paper, but I'll try at the library and town hall soon. Other than that, I have a professor who's been teaching here for decades. I'll ask him about the case and see if it's ever got solved. Hopefully my leads don't run out. Amber again. Isn't it wild that I would be older than Morgan now? Comment from Deputy Truthful. Looking up a missing Amber isn't too successful on my end either, for obvious reasons. Post 6. September 28th, 2020. Morgan here, sorry for the wait. My professor doesn't really get email, so I can't contact him on the weekends. I asked him about a missing or killed Amber in 1999, and he knew right away. He actually had some newspaper clippings back in his office of the case. Amber had a mother named Christy, a father named Peter, and a younger brother named Michael. They were broken up when she disappeared. Apparently, they found her DNA outside this house, but nobody, no murder weapon, no witnesses, and most importantly, no suspect. Her family moved about a year later. I asked my professor why he had the clippings. He showed me some others. His daughter Laura disappeared too the year before in a similar way. He said a few other girls around their age went missing. Thought it was a serial killer, but the local police never looked into it. He told me that the police department in this town is practically run by one rich family, and that they'll take bribes for anything, so that's another thing to watch out for. It's a good thing I went to see him before I went to see the police. This is Amber. I was super bummed to find out the whole thing. Because, duh. Morgan found a few pictures of my family online, and it seems that they all grew up alright. Maybe the pictures jogged a few memories, but they're way down deep. Advice? Don't investigate your own murder. Morgan again. That's the update for now. And I'm still looking through all my professor's old newspapers. It looks like 3 other girls went missing after Amber. Comment from Brown Bread 2002. Have you thought about telling our family? Comment from Original Poster. We both did. But how would we even explain this? If I got a message that my dead kid was back as a ghost, I'd think it was a cruel joke. Post 7, October 1st, 2002. Morgan here. My professor doesn't remember the specifics of Amber's case when I went to talk with him again. Anyways, I looked into the other girls since the articles listed their families. All but one moved out, and I'm steeling myself to go talk with them. Obviously, I'll leave the ghost stuff out, but there's really no good way to bring this up. They probably wouldn't want to talk about this with some nosy criminal justice student. This is Amber. The messages you guys sent were so nice. I realized it's way in the past, and you guys caring means a lot. I have a few memories of my family. We were having breakfast at the kitchen table, and another one I chased Mickey out of my room. LOL. The weird thing is, the room didn't look like mine, even though I only saw it for a second. Everything looks different with all the furniture and decorations gone, and the dust. But it just looked funny. Morgan again. My next step is to get in contact with the family, and hopefully not get run out of town. I'll update soon. Comment from Aussie Life 26. Sometimes families don't change anything about an old bedroom after someone dies, but I've also heard of families doing renovations to try and forget. Comment from Original Poster. Yeah, I assumed. Don't mention it to Amber. Post 8, October 12th, 2020. Okay, we're back and okay. It just took some time to convince the family that I was actually trying to help. I told them my college was starting up an initiative to reopen cold cases in the area, and they gave me a few interviews. It was just an old couple, and they said their 2 other kids had moved out right after high school. Their daughter was named Catherine, and she was 15. It was actually a very similar story to Amber's from what the papers said. They found her backpack in a bush about a block away from this house. It gives me a really bad feeling that this might have been the epicenter of these killings. My professor's theory is sounding more realistic by the second. The last girl went missing in 2003 though. No crime at all in this town, the realtor told me. And she was right. After 2003, I asked the couple a bit about this house, but they said it's been abandoned since the 90s. So the lead was dead there. Anything before 2010 in this town was written down by hand and never copied onto the internet. Guys, please tell Morgan to get a cat. She won't listen to me. Post 9, October 18th, 2020. Amber update, more memories. And I think they're important. I wasn't swimming. I got a bunch of me playing soccer. I even remember some of the trophies and team pictures we took. So I think that confirms that this isn't my room. And I never lived here. Plus, if it's been abandoned since before my death, I obviously didn't live here. Morgan here. I don't have time for a cat. What I can't understand is why Amber was running here then. To get away from the killer? But that's a big coincidence if every girl ended up running here. Town Hall still isn't letting me look at the old records. I told them my class was doing a project on a gas leak at the mall that killed 3 people in '94, and the receptionist looked me up and down and said they'd get back to me. So that's not a great response. My professor offered to put a word in, but I can tell that the whole thing is making him depressed. Post 10, October 21st, 2020. So I sat down with my professor again at his insistence. I said it looked like my street was the center of these killings. He said he knew that serial killers often operated under a modus operandi. It manifests in similarities across crime scenes, and our guy might just have something drawing him back to this place. Comforting. I have to hope he's moved on. But I also bought another set of locks for the doors. My professor said he was worried about my involvement in this case. I told him it's practically my major, but he said being too involved in a cold case can break you apart. He said he knew about that. I just feel like I owe it to Amber. Maybe after it's all done, she can get some peace. Comment from Brown Bread 2002. Double check your windows too. Post 11, November 2nd, 2020. This is Morgan. I finally got the town hall to let me in. Just for a few minutes. I didn't think there was much evidence left to find on the murders themselves, so I looked into this house. My professor lived here until 1996. If his daughter was the first one killed, then maybe the serial killer kept coming back here. He never mentioned it happening right outside his house. I don't think I should bring it up to him anymore. I haven't mentioned it for his own sake, but he cried the last time we talked. Comment from Deputy Truthful. Why wouldn't he tell you? Post 12, November 3rd, 2020. It's Amber. Morgan totally has time for a cat. First things first, some guy was snooping around the house last night. I tried to wake Morgan up, but she ignored everything I tossed at her. Because she was with a girl. Rude. He was wearing a hoodie and a mask, so I can't say anything about what he looked like. I couldn't follow him after he left either. Morgan again. After I got chewed out by Amber for missing an intruder, she told me what happened. At least I know the locks worked. I'm using humor because I'm thoroughly freaked out. It's way too much of a coincidence that someone's casing my house now. Of all times. Plus, this town has had maybe 2 robberies in 10 years, and those were at a gas station. So I'm counting on Amber to watch out for the guy again. I doubt I can fall asleep again though. I bought some pepper spray. I just can't figure out how he knew I was back. He never went after a girl over 18, but maybe he's taking anything around the house now. And yes, I filed a report with the police that someone was looking in my windows. I couldn't really explain the rest to them. A lot of good that did me, because the cop actually rolled his eyes when I reported it. Good night, and I hope I update this again. Post 13, November 10th, 2020. This is Morgan, and I've had a hell of a week. I'll start from the beginning. The day after my last post, I went to class like always. I felt watched, but I assumed anyone with a serial killer peeking in their windows would feel watched. Class went by just fine, but I got a weird feeling walking out and decided to take a different way home. I went down back streets, doubled back, until the weird feeling left. There was never anyone on the street with me once I got away from campus anyways. I got through the front door, and right as I opened it, Amber hurls a can of beans through it. I looked back, confused, and it gave me enough time to see my professor stepping towards me with a knife in his hand. He didn't need to follow me. He knew exactly where I was going. I tried to get inside, slammed the door shut, but he was faster than he looked. Stronger too. He got the door open and tried to hack at me. I quickly dropped the pepper spray I'd fished from my coat, like an idiot. My weapons were depleted, so I ran up to the girl's bedroom. Amber wants to take it over from here. The old guy showed up before Morgan, but I couldn't do anything to him since he stayed outside. I waited until Morgan showed up, then threw the first thing I could find. It's hard to get the energy to aim well since I was going right for the old guy, but it worked out anyways. Morgan ran up to the old bedroom, and I shut the door behind her. It's hard to move that much, and it didn't really slow him down. Morgan was fast enough to get into the bedroom before him, and she hid. He slammed up against the door yelling, "Laura!" and crying. I threw a vase at him and it just made him mad. The door was super old though, and he was able to kick it open. I raced through the halls, but he got to Morgan first. She was behind the curtains and smashed him over the head as hard as she could with a swimming trophy. He fell right away, bleeding from his head. Morgan ran away to call the police, but I could tell he was dying. He was gone by the time she got connected to 911. Morgan again. They took his body and asked me about the break-in all night, before leaving at around 3 a.m. I just told them that he was upset that I was looking into his daughter's case. He killed every one of them, Laura first, for whatever sick reason, and then the rest all around her age and appearance, right by this house. I don't want to know what he was trying to replicate. For me, I was just asking too many questions. I was suspicious that he lived here, but I didn't want to admit it to myself. He was always nice to me. I also kind of thought that Amber would move on. Not that I don't enjoy the company, and that she's totally not reading what I'm typing right now, but for her own peace. Her murderer isn't out there anymore, and even if it's not solved for the other families, she knows. It's Amber. What if another killer comes along and you need another can of beans thrown? Anyways, it's been super fun talking with people. Maybe I'll go sometime. but it's not too bad now. Plus, Morgan brought home a kitten. Name suggestions, please. Post 14, February 2nd, 2022. I've been waiting to give an update on this. This is Amber. He didn't take 2 decades to reappear. It was just a few years. Morgan still lives here, and Mittens. But I haven't told her. I waited patiently for him to form again as a spirit. He was all smug when he saw me, ready to put me through it again. I ran, acting so scared, right towards the front door. He chased after me, almost grabbing me, until I ducked to the side. He kept going while I waited in the doorway. Then I slammed it shut after him. I found out what happens when a ghost goes outside the house. Morgan doesn't need to know about it.